My name is Darryl Forte. I'm the chief of the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. I've been here approximately 15 months as the chief and a total of 27 years employed as a police department as a police officer. I started my career with the police department in 1985. I graduated out of the academy at the end of 1985 after receiving an associate's degree from Penn Valley Community College. I went on to pursue a criminal justice degree from Park College and then Master of Liberal Arts with a concentration in management from Baker University. I would recommend anyone going into law enforcement have a degree. That way, it shows that you've already been exposed to a number of different types of learning environments. As of course, the academy is structured in an academic sense and also in a practical sense. So you need common sense as well as academic awareness for a lot of things. I think some traits that are desirable and really beneficial is excellent listening skills, interpersonal skills, the ability to see bigger than what you see, if that makes sense. You got to look past what you see. You have to be inquisitive. You have to be focused. You have to be able to adapt quickly to different situations. Sometimes it can be a life and death situation within a matter of seconds. You can be laughing one second, and the next minute you can be returning gunfire. So you have to be focused, and again, you have to be aware of your surroundings. I think they can expect a high level of discipline when you're in the academy. It's very structured. Our Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's academy is academy that you go home every day. You come in the morning and you go home normally by 5 or 6 in the evening. There's some exercises and some ride-alongs that, of course, non-traditional hours that you have to participate in. But I think just a structure. If you're not accustomed to structure, you might have difficulty adjusting. But over time, I think you can adjust. But I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that a lot of people have to overcome. Some of the common mistakes that new officers make is making that transition from non-police officer to police officer, where you have to watch your associations. I just talked to academy class this morning at orientation. They just started today, this morning at 8 o'clock, where you have to watch who you associate with. We're judged by a different standard. I can't hang around with a known felon because now that taints the police department. Because now all of a sudden the chief's hanging around a known felon, so he may be involved in the same activities as that felon. So we have to watch our associations. We have to watch something simply the way we drive, the way we communicate with our neighbors. Because now we're in law enforcement, our neighbors know we're in law enforcement. So sometimes we can't always do and say what we want to do and say because we're a reflection of the organization that we work for. So that's one thing I think, or several things I think that sometimes we as new employees fail to recognize that now we're a part of an organization where we're held to a higher standard, and we have to always remember that. We have a lot of stress. A lot of people don't realize that, or at least they don't bring it to our attention, and we don't talk about it a lot. But we have the same issues everyone else in the general public have. We have significant others, we have children, we have health issues, we have those sorts of things, and then we come to work every day and we have to deal with other people's problems. So I think I don't know if that's a perception issue. I think most people, when they sit down at the end of the day, know that we're human, but some people think we're superhuman sometimes, and we're running toward the gunfire when other people are running away from the gunfire. So that's something different also, and that's something you have to get used to. I think the biggest challenge, we have so many things going on in Kansas City. Yeah, and me personally, I think managing a board of police commissioners, managing a large staff. We have about 2,000 employees here. Communicating and managing what we tell the public and those sorts of things. So I think just managing overall has been a big issue for me. I think we've done okay, recognizing that we have a great team in place, and I'm not the only one that has to manage this information. It's a number of us that have to manage information in order to keep this organization forefront in what we're trying to do, and that's reduce crime and make people safe in Kansas City. Just in the last 10 years, if you look at technology, if you look at just the camera phones, you look at the social media. Social media used to be, when I first came on this job in 1985, it may take 2 days for the news to come out. Now it comes out as it's occurring. So that's something we have to be mindful of. And I think it's a great thing. I think it's great that technology is here. You talk about e-ticketing, where we write tickets on the street now, no hard paper copy, no pen and pad. We do it on a device where it goes straight to the courts and people can pay their fines a lot quicker. There's a lot of things in technology. You look at our camera system. You look at our license plate reader system where we have some license plate readers on cars where they collect data as we drive down the street. You may have seen some of the vehicles out there that have cameras mounted on, about 4 or 5 cameras. They're collecting data as they drive around. So there's a lot of things that changed in law enforcement over the years. On the Chief's blog, you find articles about current events. You find articles about diversity. You find articles about our hotspot policing. You find articles about upcoming initiatives. You find articles about employment. I mean, there's almost anything you can think of you can actually find on the Chief blogs. I talk a lot about the homicide numbers. I talk a lot about diversity. I think that's important. If you look at our organization now, this is the first time in history that we've ever had a female officer as a range instructor at the firearms range. This is the first time we've had 2 female deputy chiefs. This is the first time we've had 2 attorneys in our Office of General Counsel. So there's a lot of things that we're doing now. This is the first time we've had a diversity officer to look at some of these issues, to show that it's important, and that's his only responsibility, is look at our diversity issues and those sorts of things. I say some things that you can do to stand out is come with a good record. You know, there's things that happen when we're young and we grow from that, but just don't have a pattern of speeding tickets. Don't have a pattern of minor infractions, disturbing the peace and those sorts of things. That's not going to stop you from becoming a police officer, because we look at the whole picture when you come to apply and as we process you and select you for academy classes. But just make sure your character's straight. Make sure you don't have those minor snafus in life and continue to have them. It's okay to have some things happen, but don't have it be a pattern in life, and I think that'll help you get a long ways in the selection process.